Maggie Carsonson.
Woo!
The senior Maggie Carsonson.
Thank you.
Live in-house tonight. And Maggie, we're super pumped that you made the long trip from
I'm glad to be here.
Elkhart?
Yeah.
Yeah, right outside Elkhart.
Somewhere
Thanks
in
for
there.
coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little bit of fun with Maggie, but then we're also going to just interview Maggie here a little bit and ask maybe some more serious questions. But we want to play a couple games with you. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. All right. This first one is, I think, our cereal game. Is that right? Is that the first one? Okay. We're going to keep with our cereal theme.
Okay.
Now, you need to go ahead and put on your mask. All right. She is going to be blindfolded. Kelly is going to hand me some cereal. And we've used gloves. Everything's healthy, safe. We're good to go there. And we have a cereal on a plate. And Maggie is going to take a little bite. And she's gonna you're gonna have 5 seconds to tell me what the cereal is.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there like a countdown? Is it like...
Once I give it to you and I see that you've eaten it, then I'll count down. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting that ready. Again, we're gonna do at least 2. If we have time, we'll do 3 because I have one other game that I want to play.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and do this first one. Kelly's handing it to me. Thank you, Kelly. And all right, 2 hands, and you can't see. You promise?
No, I can't.
Okay. However you want to, if you want to take it to your hand and eat it, or just put your face in it, whatever you think. There you go. Okay, she's eating it. All right, 5, 4, 3,
Golden
2,
Grams? Wait, no.
1. Final answer? Final answer?
It's some Golden Grams?
Okay, raise your mask just to your forehead so you can see. Close, but
Oh.
Cookie Crisp. Cookie
I
Crisp.
don't know if I've had this before.
They're that's one of my favorites.
I'm so stupid.
No, that's okay. It's hard to say. It's hard to say that. Okay, mask down. Mask
Okay,
down.
okay.
So
Sorry.
Cookie Crisp there. Let's see. This next one here. Kelly's got it ready. Oh, this will be a good one. I think you're gonna know what this
I'm
one is.
probably not gonna get it.
No, I think you will actually. Okay, you ready? Go.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But yeah, I didn't even get a chance to count down. Raise your mask. You bet. You bet. All right, 1 for 2. If you get this next one right, you're gonna win a box of cereal, a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But we're gonna give it to somebody. So we'll have to figure out who in youth group we want to give it to.
Okay.
Remind me to come back to that because you've already won chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
You've run.
It's not rigged, I promise.
Reese's
okay.
Puff. You've won. So okay, last one. You're 1 for 2. You've got to get this. So whoever can win.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah, okay. Raise your mask. You actually take your mask off. 2 out of 3. Nice job, Maggie Carsonson. Very good. Sadie says yes, Maggie, by the way.
I know. Thanks,
So
Sadie.
you are going to win a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was our champion of our bracket cereal madness. Who do you want to give that to? Anybody in the youth group? You have 5 seconds. Answer.
Eli Fincham.
Eli Fincham, you have won. I better write that down. You have won a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I got you, Eli.
That's very, very nice of you. Okay, now this trivia, and the screen will be off of the side here for you. Back in 2002, because that was the year you were what? You were just born in 2002.
Yep.
Okay, so just some
That's
random
so
trivia.
crazy.
3 questions. 2 out of 3 you get right, and then somebody else will also get a box of Cinnamon Toast
Okay,
Crunch that we'll have to
pressure's
figure
on.
out. So if you want Maggie to give you a Cinnamon Toast Crunch box of cereal, then you may want to just comment here. We're a little delayed, so I don't know if that'll work or not. Okay, back in 2002, by the way, did you see that picture in the background?
Yeah, it's so
Go
bad.
back one. Let's go back
It's so
one.
weird. I remember
Look
when
at the
the
youth
rap
room.
was like that.
I know.
And there was a counter.
You actually won the bracket contest that year in March Madness.
2 years in a row.
Back-to-back champ,
counting.
right here, Maggie Carsonson. Okay, back in 2002. Here we go. First question. What Disney movie was released? A, Monsters, Inc., B, Lilo and Stitch, or Cars? What do you think? Think it over. We have a little bit of an audience here tonight. They can maybe help you if A, B, and C could be like 1, 2, and 3, but you have 5, 4, 3,
Lilo and
2.
Stitch.
Final answer?
Lilo and Stitch.
Can I have the answer, please? That is correct.
Woo!
1 for 1. All right, next question. Here we go. What TV show premiered?
American Idol.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I feel really good about that.
Do you want to check the audience?
No.
Okay, and then don't look at Gunnar. He'll have no idea. What do we got here? Answer. That is 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Maggie Carsonson. Somebody's winning a box of cereal
I know.
here. We hit it. Let's even go 3 for 3. Next question. Most popular baby names. Can you give me? I want a boy and a girl, but you don't have to get both of them. So just give me a guess of each, and we'll see how you did. Boy name. What do you think? Aiden, Ethan, Jacob.
The boy name, I'd say Ethan.
Okay.
And
All
the
right. Girl's name?
Madison.
Madison. Let's see how you did. Oh, there's a Jacob in your family.
I know.
Do you know what year he was born? Put
Like
you on the fly. Think
2007.
Okay, all right. Jacob was the most popular baby name in 2002, and then Emily. Pretty standard names. I thought Destiny.
Destiny, probably not.
That's
Yeah,
probably
I
a little
crossed
more,
that off the
little more
list.
modern. So good job, Maggie. We want to take just a few moments, and we want to interview you. Just a few questions here, okay? We'll start off with some fun. Best high school memory.
Well, got a lot of good memories. One of them, let's see.
Do you remember?
Honestly, like, I can't think past, like, before senior year. Probably the best moment, like, I can think of right now is I was in jazz band, and I played drum set. It's pretty jazzy. And there was, like, a competition we had to get to, and we were, like, running super late. We got into the warm-up room, like, 10 minutes after we were supposed to be in there, and, like, everyone was flustered, and, like, they were freaking out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, I'm going to count you off. You got to start. We're going to just run through the music. So he's like, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I was just like played it, and I was ready to go. And my director, he looked at me and he smiled. He was like, yeah. And I was like, and then everyone was like, yeah, and everyone got in the mood. Everyone was feeling jazzy.
They were feeling the flow.
I was feeling it.
Did your face turn red? I would have been bright red probably.
No,
okay.
I was in the
Wait,
zone.
did you say what instrument you play?
Yeah, drum set.
Oh, that was the drums. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
all the
missed that
guys
part.
were wearing like fedoras. Or whatever.
I actually have a text here. Your best elementary teacher. I've got a text here from one of our viewers who shall remain nameless until you say their name. Actually.
Well, I actually saw his name.
Who is it? Like, just say who it is. That, by the way, was Mr. Chris Murphy who texted him.
It's a tie between Jamie Fincham and Chris Murphy.
Okay, it's a tie. Well done. Way to be political there. Okay. Do you have a favorite mission trip? Like just like where we went?
Yeah, I guess Salt Lake City the first time.
All
of them were so good.
Right answer. I like that. Right answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Best thing about the Carsonson family?
We're the weirdest family you will ever meet.
But isn't every family weird though?
No, like.
Because I know mine is.
I mean, I don't know about your family, but like sometimes we're just around the house and then we'll break out into song, and then I'll start harmonizing along with it.
That's the great things about families, though.
The weird thing is it sounds good.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to it sounds good. Can you somehow record that next time, and can we put that on our youth group social media? That'd be a ton of fun. I've got some great Maggie Carsonson videos. Whenever we get to your like real senior service, I got some good stuff for you. By the way, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super weird, how weird do you think the Eric Neihart family is when they're all at home?
You're pretty close. You're like a 9.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I probably went like 14 or 15. I mean, if you've known Eric for very long. What about the Tillotsons?
Tillotsons.
What about Tim and Kelly? It's just Tim and Kelly.
They're pretty normal. They're pretty ordinary people, you know.
Well, let's just. What would you guys vote yourself at? She's not giving you answers. Okay. But those are the great things about families, though. Like it really is. I'm glad that you guys do that. Okay. What jobs have you had since you've been old enough to start working?
My first job, I was a nanny.
Okay.
I'm not going back. That was terrible. Nothing else to be said about that.
Okay.
Center Grove Orchard. I worked there for like a couple months, one season, and I was just like in the admissions. And I've been working at Hy-Vee.
Bakery?
Yeah, bakery.
Yeah.
For like over a year.
Do you get free donuts?
I mean,
can you say?
Just take.
Okay. All right. Next question.
It's free.
Let's see. Do you have a last kind of like fun question that I want to ask you? 2 or 3 more serious questions. Do you have an embarrassing moment
of like high school?
Yeah.
Well, nothing like really specific, but like this has happened more than once, which in and of itself is pretty embarrassing. But like, I just remember like several times throughout like high school when like I'm really tired, I'll go up to my locker because I need to get something out of it, and like instead of trying to unlock it with a combination, I take my car keys and I'm like over here like pressing the unlock button, and I'm like I can't
like remote access.
Yeah, and I can't figure out why it won't open my locker, and then I'm like, wait a second, and then I look around and there's people staring at me like, is she okay? And I'm just like. And it's happened more than once, and I was I don't know what's going on with that. Sometimes when I'm like showering, I accidentally put face wash in my hair instead of shampoo.
I find
So
myself doing a lot. Like my mind's thinking about other things, and you just
Yeah.
go in default mode. I've on my laptop tried to use it as a touch screen, like it's an iPad or an iPhone.
Yeah.
You're not thinking. You're thinking about other stuff. So, oh man, I'm sure you and I could talk a lot about just different embarrassing stories. Well, I would just say to you how much we've appreciated. You've been in youth group ever since you're old enough, right at the end of your sixth grade year, which seems, for me, it seems like yesterday. But then when I started looking through all the photos that we
Mhm.
have of you from youth group stuff, you realize how much time has passed, and I think how much you've grown in the Lord, which has been really cool. And I know that your senior year has been just kind of flipped upside down, and I know a lot of people just even commented just how they feel bad for you,
Mhm.
and yet how you've tried to walk through that well. Again, maybe a bit more serious question. What's maybe been the hardest thing about this whole COVID-19 and how it's affected your senior year?
I think the hardest thing is just like, especially like knowing I won't go back, um, like for classes at
Yeah.
school. Um, I'd say just not having that closure, like
Hmm.
knowing that was like my last day ever. Um, but I'm handling it a lot better. I'm growing from it.
Yeah.
It's not something that's like the end of the world or anything.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just like not being able to like see my friends every day at school
Yeah.
ever again. It's just kind of weird, but
Yeah. I'm sure it just all feels a bit surreal.
uh-huh.
And again, I feel for you and just all of the seniors from the school districts that are somehow I'm connected with, or I feel for all of those people. But I'm thankful, even just what you said of just trying to work through it, and what can God teach me through it, and yet knowing that it's a real thing. It's hard, and yet at the
Mhm.
end of the day, it's not the end of the world, but it's still not the easiest thing at all to walk through.
Yeah.
What would you maybe say was the hardest thing for you in high school? And I think the teenage years can be awesome, but they can be really difficult. Throw in peer pressure, sports, music, busyness. We have a bunch of our youth group kids who are watching right now, and maybe they'll identify even just with what you will say here as far as what's the hardest thing about high school. Maybe put that in a couple sentences.
I'd say and it can be different for different people.
Sure.
For me, I'd say um just like everything I've gotten involved with over like the past 4 years of high
Hmm.
school, I'm in so many different crowds
Yeah.
of people and just with so many different people all the time. And I just say um don't let that like affect your
Hmm.
testimony or your example you have there because people are always watching and
Hmm.
you just I don't I can't stress that enough. Just always take every opportunity because you have so many opportunities
Yeah.
to be a light for Christ.
Yeah.
And just there's so many different people that you hang out with a lot more than people in youth group.
Yeah.
That they can, whether they're a good or bad influence, they can rub off on you. So just be aware of that
Hmm.
throughout high school.
So let's go back to our scale of 1 to 10. That was very well said, by the way. Let's go back to our scale of 1 to 10, and not necessarily a funny question, but a serious question. From your perspective, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 is the reality of peer pressure? 10 for the average teenager at school. 10 being like it's super super strong, or one probably for most teenagers not that big a deal. But I know the answer probably, but I'd like to hear from your perspective. What would you say is the ranking for the average teenager by way of how heavy peer pressure hits their life?
Um, it's probably 8 or 9.
Yeah,
I'd say
I,
it's
I,
pretty high up there.
mhm. I think you're right, and I love what you said a minute ago when you were just reflecting on some of the hard things of high school. You're kind of interweaving there some things that God has taught you through that you're always influencing somebody,
Hmm.
and what an opportunity that we have to be the aroma of Christ. And though high school was a long time ago for me, and you're just about ready to wrap it up,
Yeah.
that reality is still true. It can be really hard, especially in a public school. Maybe it's your job, your sports team. It can be hard to really be a light for Jesus in those settings. And
Hmm.
anything else that you would just say by way of here's one of the things that God has taught me as I reflect back over high school. Anything else you'd add to that? You've already given us a number of really good things, but
Yeah. I'd say like the biggest thing I've learned so far. I mean that's hard to put. I've learned a lot over the years, so it's like hard to wrap it up into one thing. But recently, especially, is just to value the family that you have,
I like that.
and just, which is one of the core values. That's huge because especially if you're wondering, like, why am I not growing in my relationship? If that's you, or I'd say like what you put into you get out more of. Like, so the more you're there, like make it an effort to be to youth group on time and be with those people the most, because those are like the greatest influences for you. And the more like you put into youth group and to your church family overall, that the more you'll like grow in Christ through that. So,
and this has been again such a unique senior year for you because you're our only senior.
Yeah.
And a lot of your friends were older, and you still obviously friends in youth group now, and so that was an adjustment for you. I know that it was,
Yeah.
but you're not done with youth group, and Lord willing, we can come back to youth group before mid-August. But I just want to say thank you for all that you've done, and I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but I think that you've done a really good job this year, just really trying to be a leader in a lot of different ways and finish strong. And I know it's hard right now; we can't be together, but hopefully we get to be together before you head to college this fall. Which
I hope so.
Yeah, I do too. Do you think your mom and dad are watching? Ryan and Michelle watching maybe?
I mean, maybe.
Give
I
give
told
a
him
shout
I'd
out.
be here.
Give a shout
Hey, Ryan, Michelle.
Our dog.
Our dog.
If he goes back and watch, then he'll hear the shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to give away that last cereal box.
Oh, yeah.
Eli, by the way, said thank you.
You're welcome.
So Eli, Cinnamon Toast Crunch coming your way at some point soon.
Yeah.
Another box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch to who? I didn't mean to stress you out.
Kylie.
Kylie. Okay, Kylie won a gift card last week, so she's a back-to-back winner here. Kylie
Yeah.
Lawson, we will deliver a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch to you. I want to go full screen on what's behind me here, and I want you all to go ahead and look closely at all of these Maggie pictures from the years gone by, and there's a lot of good memories there. A number with Nancy, some in Peru, on a mountain in Salt Lake. That's really, really, really cool.